Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hi. Krista, is this recording then?
We are recording.
Awesome.
We are live.
We are live. Welcome, everybody. We're just going to get a few things set up real fast so that way we can share links and stuff so other people from other platforms can join. So let's just give it just a couple more minutes and we'll get everything situated.
Okay, hold on one second.
Where did Katy go?
I don't know. We lost Katy. Okay, we are live, so I'm going to go ahead and share the link. I don't know. We lost Katy. Okay, we are live, so I'm going to go ahead and share the link. I don't know. We lost Katy.
How is it? Why is it echoing in my phone?
Okay, we are live, so I'm going to. Okay, hold on one second. I'm copying and pasting.
Why is it echoing?
There's Katy. Okay, hold on one second.
Krista, if you've got your phone going too with it.
Give me a minute. Just give me a minute.
Krista, if you've got your phone going too with it.
Give me a minute.
Krista, if you've got your phone going too with it. She's posting it.
They won't even let me open
Krista, if you've got your phone going too with it.
If I just flash this to this off.
I was trying to share it, but I can't share it when I'm on here.
Okay,
YouTube.
gotcha. Okay, we should be good now.
Awesome.
Okay. So you posted it on the page then? All right, cool.
Good. Hello, everybody. We appreciate
Hello,
everybody.
hello.
We are Krista and Aaron, Blondes and Booze, and we have special guest, Katy and KD. I guess KD will be on soon.
Yes, I am headed to the house to see what the heck he is doing. So I'm headed that way as soon as I find my car keys. Everybody who knows me knows that sometimes I'm a hot mess.
We know this, Katy. We know this.
And that's why you guys love me for that.
That's
See?
right.
Yes.
We have you in everything.
So I'm really excited for the fall into the supernatural.
We are excited to have you.
And, just with the fundraising and everything you guys do for the Ray County Museum, I cherish that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
It means a lot to me. So I really look forward to it. And I love the Ray County Museum.
For anybody who doesn't know who Katy is, she definitely has this like connection with history, and it's a connection I've never seen. Like it just gravitates towards her. Like even objects just find her. It's very odd.
Yeah, it is. I mean, see, I'm kinesic, meaning I'm a behavior analyst. So, and I'm not a psychic medium. I'm not
Wink. You're not.
But I don't like mediums. Now, sometimes I'll see like an apparition or something. And when I do, a lot of times I'll try to dispute it because I'm thinking somebody's messing with me because they'll look like you and I, like right there.
Right.
And that's happened a handful of times. But one strange encounter that I had was I was investigating a home case and I saw a person who actually was astral projecting.
Oh, wow.
And I've asked a lot of psychics, and like when I go on to these classes as a special guest and even on to podcasts, like I like to know if their viewers have ever experienced that before, because it was very odd because it's happened to me twice, and I didn't realize that because I don't study astral projection. I study dreams.
Right.
And I have control of my dreams, and I can lucid dream. I can wake myself up in my dreams. but as far as seeing someone astral projecting, and my daughter was calling me. Anyways, I tried to find my car keys because I dumped my whole purse out trying to find my connector so I can wear my headphones because I have an iPhone, and I don't know why they changed it like that. Stupid. But the woman, there was like this almost kind of like a darkish color, not uniformed circle, if that makes sense.
Right.
And I was told, because they carry a spirit guide with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, well, then that would probably make sense. Because I thought there was something that was trying to. I was like, oh, well, then that would probably make sense.
Oh,
I hear myself talk. I wanted to hear myself talk to make sure I sounded clear.
I was posting this in other groups, so sorry.
No, please do. But I thought something was going to attack her, and no, it was her traveling guide person. I probably should look into astral projection because I know about palm tree, various different divinations. I can read divination with seashells. I mean, just I know everything about dreams. I study all this along with the ITC community because I feel as if I'm a researcher. I should know these things because people ask me questions, and I have 18 plus years of doing this. Then I should know something. I should, but if I don't, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that. But I think it's important, like you, Krista, you have studied demonology. Like I can't even count like what kind of stuff you have studied. And same thing with you, Aaron. Like your gifts come very naturally because I've seen you in your realm of intuitiveness.
Right.
And I get chills, man. Just because I know the history, and it's like, you picked up on it at Shawnee Indian Mission.
I was going to say that was amazing when I came down there to help you guys out with, and kind of just, because you guys had so many people, and it was like, it was just crazy time. And yeah, that was awesome. And that was so much fun investigating with you guys. Cause that's one thing is it's fun to investigate with different people and see how they do stuff. And it was so much fun to like work with you guys. And I mean, Katy, you're just such a big book of knowledge about so many different things. I learned so much. Do you know that you had told me about the trees and about how the trees will point towards, I still, since that day, I will look for those trees. It just stuck with me. I'm like, wow, that is just so neat. So like, that was just an amazing time. And yeah, there was a lot of stuff with the property and the history and everything that I picked up. And it was just so much fun to go to a new location with you and all of the history and me be able to do these things and you be able to confirm or deny it. And I know it's real because I know how much you research and how much you know about that because you take it to heart. You don't just learn it.
Right.
You feel it.
Yeah. And being a preservationist and the Shawnee Indian Mission is the oldest structure still in the state of Kansas. And I feel as if that is my mission, my journey is to help protect these historic sites. And also other historic sites, even for investigators to be able to continue to investigate. Because paranormal researchers aren't just paranormal researchers.
Correct. And I'm so glad you said that. Yes.
Yeah. they do a lot more than people know. They help their historical societies out. They help with preservation. They volunteer a lot of their time. They donate funds from their events.
Nobody be making no money if you are doing it right. Nobody's making no money doing this stuff, whether you're on TV or any of that stuff.
No,
I mean, you're doing it because you're passionate and you're doing it to help, and you're doing to get information out there to people who are in need and who are lost, maybe. You know, I know you and Katie are absolutely those people. You guys are always doing things for the community, and you're doing things for, you know, you guys where you live at, you know, I always see you guys doing things out there in that area.
We
try. It doesn't have to be haunting stuff. You know, you guys go out there. Right. You know,
we do bingo.
It's all about the community. Right.
Katie's really good at like music bingo. And I posted it on our website. I was like, this isn't like a Supernatural Inc. or Katie's not doing anything. Hey, baby, look, you just woke up. Look how handsome you are.
Good. I'm sorry.
Katie.
Yeah, you look sleepy, Katie.
I am very sleepy.
We have a shop, and so he was up all night. We had, I don't know if he wants me to say anything, but we had a couple radio chips that were bad. And so
nonsense. They didn't want to cooperate.
They weren't bad. They just weren't listening.
Right. Exactly.
So for everybody out there, this is Katie, and then his wife Katie.
So did you guys watch the show?
I did.
I watched it the first day.
Awesome. And what do you think?
It was good.
Awesome.
I enjoyed it.
I can't wait I can't wait.
Brandon.
And so for everybody, what show we're talking about, Krista?
Ghost of Devil's Perch.
Ghost of Devil's Perch.
Yep.
So also,
Katie,
I have to say,
what can you tell us about Ghost of Devil's Perch without giving away anything?
Man, it's so hard right now. Tell
us what they cut out of the first episode. I want to know because he won't tell.
Oh well, I mean, it's not that it was cut. It was just left out. I mean, so I don't know what I could even say was like that.
Right, and that's totally fine. If you want to wait for another time, we don't want to get you in any trouble.
Yeah,
we want to continue this show because I like it.
For me. It's easy for me to get myself in trouble a lot of times.
Can you tell us about like the location, the town, what you thought about that?
Yeah, Butte is a great town. I mean, it takes a minute to get adjusted.
Yeah. Right. Well, I know before you went to film that, I had talked to you and you wanted horseback riding lessons. Did you?
Man,
did you ever ride a horse?
I knew how to ride a horse. I just wanted to ride a horse on TV.
You want to look a little bit like John Wayne?
Yeah, exactly.
Not just like flopping around, you know.
No, yeah, Pilgrim. No, yeah, I definitely wanted to ride a horse. I felt like it was authentic to the thing. But when you get out to, I mean, in Butte, there's not a lot of people just riding horses around everywhere. It's more
right.
They have side by sides. They're pretty popular there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I couldn't even get my own side by side. So
wow.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I did hear rumors when Aaron and I came to your event at McIntyre, you guys said that actually Sarah was filming not far from you.
Yes, she was.
You guys end up like having dinner or hanging out at all?
We did. We hung out several times. We hung out several times. It was a pretty busy schedule for both of us, so we hung out when we could.
Cool, good deal.
Well, and it was really nice for her to be there because, KD kind of just met Dave and Cindy,
right?
So, and it gave him, kind of like a friend there with him.
Well, yeah, it was good to have. It was just good to have somebody that I've known for
Right.
a long time, or for a good long time, there with me.
Well, and you guys are in a different place. I mean, you're in a different state. You're away from your family, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, it was a good, it
and
was a
you're
minute.
out
It was a minute. It
right
was
and
3 months.
right, and you're out in Butte, Montana. I mean, like it's nice to have somebody there that you can at least relate to and live well and relate to on a lot of levels because you're both filming.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
says Dave and Cindy. I got to know Dave and Cindy really well. We all got to be good friends. But it was good to have Sarah there.
in the
You know,
beginning, yeah.
Like, yeah, I was good. It's good to have Sarah around anyway. Yeah.
Right. She's honest. I do like her. She's
I mean, it's just
she's
generally good to have her around.
Yeah. Well, she was my mentor. I took her very first class 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
Pathways to
So-
Spirit?
Yeah, I was in her very, very first class.
That's
And-
cool.
Yeah, so it was really cool to come to your event and actually finally meet her after 10 years of talking to her.
Was that the first time you met her?
Met face to face.
Really?
Yeah, we've talked on the phone and Zoom. Well, back then it was Skype. We used Skype.
Skype,
And,
yes.
Yeah, but to meet her face to face, that was really cool. She helped
That's
me out
cool.
a lot. I credit a lot to her.
Yeah. I wish you would travel and do that class traveling.
Yeah,
We talked about it and I was like, you should travel around different places. Well, when you're not busy. And because I mean she's been teaching it, like you said, for a long time.
right.
Mhm.
And and that was the first time you met her. And that was something she was kind of kicking around and talking about. And I know she has lots of other different courses too. And she's grown so much, even with
Yeah.
it's like never ending, like growing in your spirituality and stuff like that. I mean,
Oh yeah, no, it's a never ending process. And
Yep.
that's I can say that I love taking classes from different people.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
I like
Because,
taking
I mean,
classes
all
too. I
different-
just can't read,
I
so it makes it difficult.
Cindy
I hear
As
Kaiser,
long as there's lots of pictures, I'm good.
Right.
Cindy Kaiser she has a really awesome class because like I'll sit in on these shows like here and there. They'll invite me on just to come on and talk
Mhm.
whatever. And Sarah still lets me on Pathways to Spirit and the Grace something or another.
And for
And-
Brandon, if Brandon's watching,
He
He
is
is.
watching. He's our shaman, and you guys met him.
I have your
Yes,
sunglasses.
he's awesome.
Brandon. If you ever want to see your sunglasses again, alive, you know what to do.
Lord.
That's funny.
Well, we have some questions for you guys. Aaron and I know you personally, but a lot of our viewers don't. So,
So we have to ask all
That's
those weird questions.
Oh, Killa Rice is on.
yeah.
I
Carl.
can't see anything.
Where are you guys seeing? I'm trying to
I
figure out
can't
where.
see anything here. I see,
Go to your chat.
Oh,
And then go
I
to
Wait,
see
your,
what did I
I'm
just
in the
put?
show.
Oh no! What did I just push?
the
Okay.
Paranormal Nation Radio.
We're just pushing buttons over here. We don't know what we're.
I know.
I'm
Just
pushing buttons
randomly-
too.
Oh, there it
But
is.
I have the chat up on my phone too. So I'm doing this through my computer, but I have the chat up on my phone.
But yeah.
Brandon's like, do I know them? No.
Brandon. Who's Brandon?
Hey, so question to both of you. How did you guys get into the paranormal?
Oh gosh, was like 2006.
Well, I mean, yeah, we've always had a lifelong interest, but when I got investigations of our own and stuff, like real investigations. We've been traveling around Europe, when I was in the military, and
Mhm.
checking out old castles and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, we didn't have like a whole bunch of equipment per se, right? Because we were,
Right.
I mean, heck, that was 2008, 9, and we were in Germany, so we're kind of cut off from the rest of the American kind of ghost hunting scene. And then I went down range a couple times, and then when I got out, when I was getting ready to get out, we were like, well, you know, maybe we can finally do what we've been wanting to do now and do some paranormal investigations, get some, you know, and I've been wanting to try my hand at making some equipment myself and doing some of my own experiments. And so when I retired from the Army, that was a good opportunity to do so. So here we are.
Well,
So do you think that having like that military background that helped like really narrow in on how you build your equipment?
Oh, it definitely helped as far as like the background, you know, our foundation, you know, basic understanding of electronics, reading schematics and stuff. Because like you know, the type of electrical work that I'd done before was mostly like vehicle type electrical work. So working on combat vehicles or, you know, just whatever. My job as a construction equipment repairer was actually more like a person who fixes everything or whatever. I don't know. It's like I was and when you're in garrison, you work on, you know, Humvees and backhoes and stuff like that. But then when you get down range, you're working on MRAPs, you're working on mine resistant vehicles, you're working on tanks sometimes. I mean, you know, you never buses. You never knew what you would be working on.
Right.
What is your favorite piece of equipment that you built?
My favorite piece of equipment that I've built. I think that
Katie's laughing. She's like, he ain't gonna be able to answer that.
well, I think the most interest. Well, I mean, you know, I don't want to say the most interesting concept. Okay, so one of the most unique things I think that I've made, and it was based on the God helmet. You know, it was the ghost helmet. I think that was the most probably the most unique to me thing that I've made. I mean, there's a lot of people making spirit boxes and stuff like that, but you know,
did you tell them the new thing that you're working on since it's kind of been out there?
Which thing?
That we're testing. The brainwave radio is awesome.
Yeah.
Brainwave radio.
Yeah, so
brainwave radio.
So I hacked the EEG device and basically take
don't
the
give
signals.
All the details.
Well, I mean, it's well, how
Katie,
else are you gonna do it, Katie?
I'm just kidding.
How else are you gonna control something with your brain unless you're reading your brain? So basically, I hack the EEG type device, and I can gather like 6 or 7 different values from signals your brain is producing, and I can take that and apply that to different ways to control a radio. You know, different things it can do. It can mute it. It can speed it up. It can speeding it up and slowing it down. I find it's the most difficult thing to do because it's like it's based on your focus.
Gotcha.
And some, I don't know, maybe more than focus. I don't completely understand it all yet because it's a lot of numbers that come out of the EEG when you're reading it. It's got a whole screen full of numbers, and you kind of have to figure out.
What's that mean? I'm confused. I'm kidding. Some people might be confused.
Me too. I just do it. I just do stuff.
Right, I hear you. So is there a way, like, for Fall into the Supernatural, Katie can bring it and let us check it out?
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
I could bring it. I mean, I know how to operate it somewhat. I mean, I've worked it.
Well, I mean, yeah. I don't even know
hook
how.
it up to somebody. You hook it up to a person.
Well, yeah. So it's a headband, and you put it on your head, and because that's where headbands generally go. And you That's
Yeah,
obvious. I don't know why I said
Hence
that.
the name.
Hence the name
Because it
headband.
goes on your knee, you know? It goes on your knee.
Yes.
Hey,
Knee bands.
Yes.
Headband,
And
knee
so,
bands.
so you put it on, so you put the headband upon your head, and then so it's got something to do with focus and like your dominant brain wave, right? The dominant frequency that your brain's producing, and it does some math with those two numbers, and then it will like tell the radio what to do.
So
It's
have
it's
you
all
looked
it's all
that
it's
up
really
too?
long code, and I still don't quite understand how it works, because not everybody is able to even make it speed up or
well,
slow
Mhm.
down.
Chris, you guys were there when he had it May 6th.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Sarah
Yeah.
couldn't get it to sweep.
Yeah, y'all were there.
Well, if you'll let
Did
me
you
at the
miss that
museum
part?
on September 24th, if you'll let me, I'd be willing to try it out at the museum.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, have you
Yeah.
tested it on mediums and psychics and stuff? I'm sure
Well,
you probably
yeah.
have, but
Well, they just said Sarah.
Yeah,
well,
was y'all
yeah,
were
I guess
there.
so. But Katie said that Sarah couldn't get it to sweep.
Yeah.
Right,
I
yeah.
can get that bad boy to sweep.
Yeah,
Good.
sometimes it's so yeah, that's why I say some people can't. Some people can't get it to do anything, and I don't know why that is. If
Well,
different
it's
combinations
something
of
that's,
brainwaves, I don't know.
but
Right.
it's very interesting because you're using your own mind to your frequency and your vibration through other frequencies and waves. There's a lot of theories there that could provide a little bit of light back to that veil. I mean, there's a lot of potential there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it
Right.
does. Very cool.
It is. It's. I'm very proud of him with that.
Well, I just
Absolutely.
thought that if okay, so if a Ouija board, like if the way a Ouija board works is
Mhm.
by nudging, your micro muscle movements or whatever somehow through your nervous system, through your brain or whatever. It's kind of like hijacking your brain a little bit, or your nervous system, to cause the planchette to move to pick the responses, right? So I was kind of trying to apply sort of the same concept to the brainwave box. So
Right.
That's cool.
yeah,
That's
They
very
say the same
something
thing with like pendulum use, like when you're using a pendulum.
yeah.
You know, like you can make it spin by just and not really
And the
realizing
dowsing
it.
rods.
Yeah, like your
dowsing
heartbeat.
rods.
Yeah, like you're just to move the motion of like your heartbeat or whatever can cause it to go into an oscillation or whatever. Right.
Right.
Hey, Aaron, do you remember that time when we were researching and we had the SLS camera and there was that lady holding the dowsing rods, and on the SLS camera, the spirit was moving the dowsing rods on the SLS camera at the Shawnee Indian Mission.
Was that at Shawnee Mission?
Yes,
Was that
Shawnee.
at Shawnee Mission? I do remember that. That was crazy.
Sorry.
That was crazy because you could see it. Yes, I forgot about that. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, you were holding the SLS and I was just observing, And I was like, Aaron, is that spirit manipulating the rods? And you're like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like that. I was like, holy fuck, man.
Right.
I forgot about that. That was crazy.
Yeah.
So I have a hard question.
With the SLS, that's weird. That's just weird.
I have a hard question for both of you.
Uh-oh.
I have an answer.
Okay. So what is the best place to ghost hunt? What is your favorite place that each of you have been to? Ghost hunting.
The McNeely house.
Yeah, I'd say the same.
Where's
why
that?
Well, it was just the most, one of the most interesting. Well, I mean,
The little people were there, man.
aside from like recent events, like which you can't really talk much about, like prior to these things.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
McNeely House is probably
well, it's sold to someone who lives out of state, and they have people that stay there and board it up, but they have people that stay there to watch it, I guess, until they get the funds to repair it. And it's off the market. It's not even for sale anymore.
What? That is the biggest cat I've
No
seen
kidding.
in my
Holy
entire
crap.
life.
he's a big boy.
What?
Oh my
That's a
God.
Maine Coon.
Say hello, Vegas.
Yeah, he takes
Is that a Maine Coon?
too.
Yes, he is a Maine
It has
Coon.
to be a Maine Coon.
Beautiful.
And he
He's a
takes
large-
cat poops.
He's a large fellow.
Yeah. He's
Do you
Huh.
see my mouth like drop? Like I was just like, I thought you were picking up a dog. I was like,
God,
oh,
yeah.
he's a puppy. I was
Yeah,
like,
he's
holy
huge.
crap. You need a wildlife
God.
license.
I know. I thought it was a bobcat.
Yeah, no
Oh
kidding.
my God, he's huge.
How
He
much
was
does
tall.
he weigh?
He's got his big feet.
What does he weigh?
I don't know. I haven't weighed him yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so his owner died, and he was my mom's neighbor,
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
and I don't think he really had any like close family or anything, like a
He's
cousin
never
or something.
been around women ever.
No, he'd never been around women. He'd only been around this man his whole life, this single man his whole life, and the guy died. And so I guess he'd been in there with him for a minute or whatever. And
Right.
but when I went in to get him, my mom called me and Katie said we'd take him because she had seen the cat before.
Yeah.
He's just chilling. He don't even care.
He's beautiful. How old is
He
he?
is cool.
I think he's actually older. He's probably between 7 and 10, just looking at his teeth.
Wow. He's beautiful for sure.
He's a
Wow.
butthole.
He's a big butthole. He's a grumpy old man.
He's
Yeah,
huge.
He has 3 litter boxes. Yeah.
Yeah, he takes dinosaur size.
Right.
Anyway,
Miniature horse patties.
he-
So next question.
they are.
Next question for both of you. What is the scariest place you've ever investigated?
McNeely, probably.
Really?
So where is McNeely?
McNeely is my favorite
Well,
place. Is because it was one of my favorite places to investigate. Even though I've only investigated it once,
Yeah.
that's probably why. If I could go back, it would lose its flavor. Maybe, I don't know, but
Yeah, some places do.
yeah.
well, mine was, Katie wasn't, he was deployed, but mine would be the Bamberg tunnels. That was really creepy. We weren't allowed to have our phones. They put our phones like in this little basket thing, and they'd run it all the way back to the end of, you can hear it going back to the end of the exit where we would exit. And we weren't allowed to have flashlights or anything. And
Oh my gosh, I think I would be so
That would be a
scared.
safety issue. I would
Oh my
think.
gosh.
well, they really want you to get into it, and luckily they give you headphones and it speaks English. And yeah, a lot of crazy things happen down there. And there's like
In Bamberg,
yeah, it's under.
I didn't get to go to that.
No, and I couldn't figure out why there were all these small little like doors on the mountain sides.
Mhm.
And those are exits and entrances that would come from the church that was built in 1412.
Wow.
I'm trying to figure out where you at.
Who, me?
Grocery store.
Are you in a grocery store?
She's at Target. I know.
She's at Target.
Look at I asked earlier. I was like, Katie,
She's still at Target.
Target.
She's probably been
Didn't
there.
answer me.
No,
She's probably been there for a minute.
no. You
Like
want-
a minute, like a long minute.
Listen, you needed a PC gaming controller.
I did, but they don't have one.
Well, I went
Anyways,
to Five and Below, and they didn't
anyway,
have
the next paranormal question, Krista.
Okay. So
I have
what do you
one.
guys?
I have
Okay,
one.
Erin, you go
I have
ahead.
one. I have one.
Okay, Aaron.
So Katy,
Yes.
so with your military background,
Mhm.
do you think that that's changed your thought process with the paranormal? Like, because you were into the paranormal before, right?
Yeah. Well, see, yeah. Okay. So
Did it
in the
make you
Army,
more analytical, do you think? Or do you think it just
maybe it kind of makes you go back and forth. Well, with me, it did. Have a lot of existential crises and stuff like that. You just question things that you thought you always knew, and you see
right?
It changes.
things.
Yeah.
Like not even paranormal things necessarily. You just see like the reality of the world, I guess. Like the reality of some places in the world,
Right.
and it's not your perception of your small corner is probably very limited. And you get outside of that, and it's like, wow, there's a lot more going on than you think, and then you don't know what to think, and then
Right.
you go through. I don't know. I've gone through phases, like I've gone back and forth on what I can. I think too much is my problem. I think
Right.
it's hard for me to just take things at face value.
Right.
So
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, you see a lot of things that make you question what you thought you knew,
Mhm.
and it makes it hard to accept what was previously your reality.
Yeah.
And then you start questioning a lot of things. I actually think I became more open-minded through the whole process.
I would think so. I would think so, just because, I know where they're deploying you guys, and these are in areas that the technology is way different. First
Yeah,
off,
it's like
and
biblical times.
it's
Like you
not
step
the
back
same.
Yeah,
You
it's
step
like
back in time,
time.
which then almost like puts you kind of in the back seat a little bit. And then, not to mention, you're going and seeing these places, and you're going to countries that are old. We go to places around here that are like,
Yeah, you're
oh
talking
my
about like
gosh, that's
Babylon.
early 1800s.
Right.
That's so old.
Yeah.
You guys are places that have like
Go back to Jesus
that are
time.
old.
Jesus
Old.
times. Yeah, for real. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Right.
and it
So
looks
you're really
a lot of
seeing
times the
that.
people look like they just stepped out of
Right.
biblical times. I mean, they're still,
Right.
they look like they're dressed traditionally. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's got to make you think. You're in this area that is old, and you're seeing
Yep.
people dressed way different. Technology's not there. I would think that would make your mind just go,
It's
okay.
weird that technology's not there, but it's also there.
Right. Like in
It's
Dubai.
so weird.
Dubai has like weird. Dubai is weird. You went to Dubai, I'm
Dubai's
sure.
a strange place. Dubai
Dubai is strange because it's like not technology, but it is. But yet people are driving around and
Mercedes,
with
Ferraris
Ferraris with a coupe with a Jaguar hanging out their freaking.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the smartest people I've ever met were some of our interpreters in Iraq. I mean, super smart guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we tend to think like they're primitive or what, but they're super smart people.
Right.
They just they're having a hard time.
I think it's just I think it's subcultures. You've got many different subcultures in those areas, and so those subcultures are limited, and
oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that limit what they're able to
access
as far as information was, right? But like as far as like just the ingenuity and like just the ability to take nothing and make something out of it,
right?
Even
And that had-
like our adversaries, right? Like adversaries were they would make weapons out of things that, you know, they would set up these elaborate IEDs that would, you know, we're using simple mechanical processes and stuff to
Right.
detonate things. And it's ingenuitive, to say the least. I give them that.
Yeah.
That probably had to make you really think, though, because I know that you take a lot of different things from different stuff
Yeah.
and create like almost like a Frankenstein effect almost.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know? And so I'm sure that probably got your brain working, I would think, you know, seeing these people like making random things. I'm sure it made you really think.
You should have heard what.
Well, it definitely. Well, I mean, it's
Different kind of tool, but you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, it's for maintenance related period. Like we're working on things, repairing things or whatever. It definitely I learned right away. It's like, okay, if these guys can you know, make a bomb detonator out of a jug of water and with a hole in it, you know, and a float and a piece of wire and 2 pieces of wire and some old batteries that they found somewhere.
Right.
Like that's super ingenuitive. So it's like, okay, I can fix things with rocks now, you know.
Right.
We had a joke in Afghanistan where, you know, there's something about a rock. Hey, did you fix it? No, I left my rock at home. You know, like but we basically fix things with nothing. But
yeah,
anyway.
because you have to. Yeah.
We just and the Frankenstein thing. Yeah, with Frankenstein equipment. Like it's like we had 10 pieces of equipment, 8 of them are blown up. We're gonna take all the good pieces,
right?
We're gonna make 3 good ones out of those. So yeah, you do learn to well, I guess if you have to, you learn to
everything is a weapon.
Make do with what you have, and how to well, not necessarily everything is a weapon, but how do you make something that doesn't normally do this thing.
And I think that's what I find so fascinating about your equipment is that you take so many different things and it's like, how did you think of that? Like it's very neat.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Aaron, it works because we've both used your equipment. You know, it works. That's, you know.
Well, I mean, a lot of times I draw from things in the past, you know, and I just try and improve on them, right? Or I take a concept, you know, like an old concept, you know.
Drawing, just putting it out there.
Do what now?
Sorry, I had to put that out there.
Who?
Katie does automatic drawing. Y'all know that?
Oh, she just laid you out.
She's spoiling.
She did.
She just laid you out.
Spoiler. Well, I mean, I don't even know.
She just laid you out.
I don't know. I don't know if that made it or not. Like, we don't know. Like, there was things that I thought would have made it in the first one. There was a joke. It wasn't really a joke. I guess it was a joke. It was more just me being a redneck or whatever. Like us, the way I talk.
Me just putting duct tape on shit.
So like I would just say random country sounding things, you know, and when everybody was in a state of seriousness, and it was, everybody thought it was funny. It didn't make it though the first time. Darn it! Sounds French.
Maybe the next time.
Right.
So
maybe.
I have an important question for Katy.
Yes.
Here, Katie.
Katie or KT?
KT.
Oh,
okay.
Good. Thank God.
Oh my God.
Katy,
I hate important questions.
Katy, did you stop by the dollar section yet?
I bypassed the whole entire dollar section because I'm just getting lunch.
She's probably
Only
been
lunch.
she's probably been in the as seen on TV aisle for 30 minutes.
She,
It's like, oh, I need these copper fit socks. That's what I've been needing the whole
socks
time,
are
my
good.
whole life.
But they had these cool copper gloves that I
I
wanted to
see.
get
I
for
told
work.
Oh, there it is.
I told you.
Printers.
Y'all thought I
I've
was
got
kidding.
printers for people, and it tears up my hands. That's why.
Well, I'm just saying, I went to the dollar section at Target not long ago, and they've got some pretty cool stuff in there. So,
Oh God, yeah. I
Well,
can't
they don't have any
I don't have
kind of
enough
like
money.
speakers or like.
Not in the dollar section.
Well,
Well,
not in Target
not
anyway. It's
store.
like they don't have their
Actually,
electronics sucks.
no, they didn't. That wasn't a speaker. I was thinking of something else, but no,
They have a
don't.
bunch of cool little fancy Bluetooth speakers. That's about it.
Yeah.
Right. The dollar section generally has like tea towels and a lot of
Yeah.
things that I put in my house
Bathroom?
that looks like Hobby Lobby, like
It's
threw
like
up in
Hobby
there.
Lobby vomited in your house.
Yes, Hobby Lobby
That's
vomited
okay.
in my house.
Love
There's
Bobby.
worse ways for your house to look.
Right? I will admit I'm that gal that has pumpkin spice and Hobby Lobby everywhere.
Damn,
Your house
Pinterest.
does look like Hobby
Damn,
Lobby.
Pinterest.
I love Hobby.
I do. I
How
remember
much
the
time
first
do you spend on
Christmas.
Pinterest a day, Aaron?
You know what? I used to spend more time. And then I've gotten to my level where I'm like, okay, I am Pinterest.
No, I have become one with Pinterest.
I have become Pinterest.
I am
still remember-
part of the
I
matrix.
still remember the first Christmas picture I took with the kids, and they were standing in front of my Christmas tree, and I was like, yes, I did it. It looks like a Hallmark picture.
Cool.
Did they look like a Gap commercial?
A little bit, maybe a little H&M, but you know.
There you go.
But you know,
That's
you
funny.
guys know Colin
Yep.
and my youngest, who's 13
Mhm.
now. You guys remember when he was really little and he was
I do.
Katie was and still is his like idol.
Yeah,
And
he's a trip.
he showed up in his little cowboy hat and little belt buckle,
He's so
and he
cute.
Yeah, he
saved.
did. I didn't even
that.
freaking hardly recognize him last time I seen him. I was
Right?
like,
I
this guy,
know,
what are you
'cause
doing
he's-
growing up?
I know. And he saved, you know, and I want to tell all the viewers too. This kid saved a flashlight. That was his flash. He said, Katie has to sign this. Nobody else is touching it. He was so excited for Katie to sign that flashlight.
Aw.
And he
Well,
still
that-
has it. He has it on his shelf.
Well, he's cool, and you know, it's always fun.
He's a cool
Anytime.
kid.
I like to hang out with the kids. The kids like to annoy me, so
He's
they like to
he's
just
a
poke
fun
me.
one though.
They like to poke. No, I'm just kidding. He's good.
He's a
Yeah.
good
He's a
kid.
good
It's
one.
my kids that
Hermit.
annoy me. No, I'm just kidding. I love them too, but they
He
do it
loves listen.
for real.
He loves just listening to Katie too, right? Oh, I know. I get it. I'm like sometimes some other people's kids. I'm like, oh, I love
No,
mine,
other people's
but
kids
I don't
that are
love
generally
yours.
I'm fine with. It's my kids.
Right.
See, my kids,
Oh,
I'm-
why
See,
you
my kids,
little-
I'm cool with, but that's just because it's Colin. Colin's a weird little soul. He's
All
different.
kids are weird, man. You
Oh,
know,
they are.
They're all weird in their own little ways.
I have a
Absolutely.
question for
He's
you
okay.
guys.
He's a good kid.
He is a good kid. So going back to your new show, he watched with me. He did watch
And what
with
did
me.
he
He was
think?
so excited. He thought it was cool. And he was
Okay.
just like, and again, like he always says, he's like, hey, is that Katie? I was like, yes.
Yeah, there'll be a lot more of me in this one than there was in the last one.
Right.
But
right.
I found it interesting. Something I always had kind of known about myself. I'm the missing link.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Well,
Well,
they left it as a cliffhanger.
well,
They
it
did.
was
They
a
left
joke.
a major
It was a joke, like I'm a
cliffhanger.
Neanderthal, but I'm also the. Never mind, it didn't land well. But
So
I got it.
I have a question though, but like when you first met Dave, was you like nervous or anything? Because I know we used to
Was
listen.
Colin?
Like
or
I'm
me?
KD if he was nervous when he met Dave and Cindy because he used to listen to Dave on.
I listened to
Oh.
Dave for years.
Right.
For
So were you
I
Katie?
mean, however long I didn't keep count or anything, but I listened. I don't know how many nights I've
Right.
sat there and listened to Dave on Coast to Coast AM. You know, so
Right.
I've
So were you
traditionally
nervous
worked
to meet
third
him?
shift every job I've ever had, so it's always coast to coast. You know, and Dave did
and
what?
So were you nervous to meet him?
Oh, Dave. I mean, I wasn't nervous. I was excited to meet him. I was excited to meet him and Cindy. You know, like
he's so down to
I'm
earth.
always nervous
He
when I
really
meet
is,
psychics because I'm like, stop reading my brain. You know what I mean? I'm putting up my mental
he
block.
puts the tin foil. He puts the tin foil on his head.
I put my mental block on, and I'm like, you cannot read my brain. You stay out of my brain. Your Jedi mind tricks will not work on me.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let's say, but yeah, Dave's great. He's obviously the golden voice, and then Cindy is an amazing psychic medium. She's legit, man. I mean,
Oh,
no
she
doubt.
is.
I have to say, when we came to your event at McIntyre, so you know, Nick and Nikki,
Mhm.
Nikki loves Cindy Kaza, and so actually, I was supposed to be with the team at Ashmore. We were doing an event, and so she's like, the only way I'm gonna let you go is you got to get something signed from Cindy. So when I met her, I told her, you know, can I pay for something? You know, this is, you know, Nikki, she just absolutely adores you. She went in her car and pulled out this huge poster.
Oh yeah,
and signed it to Nikki. And I thought that was awesome. And she wouldn't take any money for it. I tried
Oh
to pay
no,
You won't.
Yeah. And so you know what? She got a lot of points with me. I mean, that she wasn't in it for the money. She truly cares about, you know, her
yeah.
She really
No,
does.
I've been super lucky to have been able to work with, you know, both of the psychic mediums I've worked with on TV. You know, Sarah and Cindy are. I mean, you know, the odds of getting stuck with like two, well, you know, who I feel are genuine, they have genuine ability. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like I have a little test that I administer if I have to like work with somebody. It's not like a test.
Yeah.
I'm not like the guy who's like, oh, $1 million, I'll give $1 million to anybody who can prove the psychic ability. It's not like that. It's just more of a you know, a personal thing where it kind of determines my level of belief.
Right.
And you know, like if I can trust this person and them telling me that something is happening right in front of me that I can't see.
Yep.
And so it takes a level of trust to do that, you know, like but with Cindy and Sarah, it was easy. It was easy to, you know, like I believe them. They both proved to me their ability, and I'm not even trying to prove it. You know, I mean, it's not like I was like, okay, here's 2 cups.
Right.
Where's the ball? Or whatever. You know, it was kind of like a passive test, and they both are squared away in my book.
I would agree.
Cindy freaked me out a couple times, just saying things to me out of nowhere. Sarah did too. But yeah.
That's awesome.
They're both amazing.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Oh yeah.
I have a question for both of you guys. So I am into like the cryptid thing, the Bigfoot Dogman thing.
So are we.
So on Friday night of the Fall into the Supernatural, we're doing a Sasquatch thing, and D.A. Roberts is coming to lead that.
That's
well,
awesome.
Erin and I did a podcast with a fellow cryptid person, Bettina Moss, on her group, and she had someone ask if we would be willing that night to use like a ghost box of some sort and see if we could get like a cryptid to answer through there.
Yeah, right.
What do you guys think of that? Trying something like
I think anything's possible. Frequencies.
Right.
Okay, so if we're talking about cryptids as in like an animal, an unknown or undocumented species or whatever, we know dogs can hear different frequencies and react to different frequencies and stuff. I don't know. Now it depends on whether or not what we're talking about has some sort of like supernatural ability, right? Like
I personally believe they do.
Yeah, I mean, that very well may be true with some of them, Bigfoot especially, because it's hard to nail the Bigfoot species down as a like just a normal animal species that exists in the wild, because they don't you can't like you can't track them like you could a normal animal. They don't leave the corpses of their dead.
Right.
Is it a supernatural interdimensional thing or something? And if so, is that like the starting ground for even being able to communicate via radio waves or whatever? Is like does it have to be something interdimensional or extraterrestrial? They may be using some kind of weird different radio technology that we might be siphoning off of or something,
Right.
I don't pretend to understand the dynamics of it, the mechanics of it, but I will say that there's definitely something to it, I feel like.
Yeah.
We did a documentary on the red-headed giants with Bigfoot Ltd. And filming. I don't know, like 3 weeks. I mean, it was, man, let me tell you, they'd be packing, and all I had was a stun gun. I mean,
yeah, I'm not used to that.
Katie's out there, woo!
Yeah, he's just out there like,
yeah, even the women. And I'm like, where y'all gonna pit all that?
Y'all ready to go? Y'all ready? We're gonna find it today.
and here's Katie with her fanny pack and stun gun.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
And here's me with the ghost box saying I'm at the wrong party.
Yeah,
right. I have arrived at the wrong.
I thought, where are my ninja stars? So I can get some DNA.
I left all my guns at home, guys. All I have is this ghost box. I don't
right.
But,
so, Katie, you're going to come to the Bigfoot hunt, aren't you?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I will be there.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I don't think Katie would miss that. Are you kidding me? Katie would not miss that.
Katie, can you bring a ghost box and let's try this experiment and go live?
Yeah, I have several.
Think about this. Have you ever seen Katie and Bigfoot in the same place at the same time?
We'll end up playing cards together.
Katie's gonna make friends. Katie will make friends with Bigfoot, and it's gonna be. She would. No. She tell him his own story.
3 hours ago, I really got to get back to that. Katie's like,
that's funny. So no, if you're willing to bring.
Oh, I have everything. I have a thermal imaging camera. I even have a piece of equipment my mom gave me because she's a retired environmental chemist.
You gotta take the net gun.
I'm gonna.
You don't want to catch a Bigfoot.
I don't know about catching.
I'm trying to catch a Bigfoot. I don't want to kill him. I just want to capture him.
He just wants to put him in a cage next to his giant ass cat.
I saw a movie about that one time.
I think they turn into rocks or trees or something.
Turn out well, but so we know what not to do.
Right.
Yes, that's true.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
That is true.
We know what not to do.
I'm excited.
I'm building a net gun to catch a Bigfoot. That's my next project.
Well, let me help you try it out when you get ready to
Y'all
try it
think
out.
I'm kidding?
I'm
No,
telling
I'm,
you.
I'm sure you probably will. You probably will. And you'll have some sort of laser on it too. He's gonna have a net gun. You will have a net gun, and you'll have a laser, and then you attach like something to it that will probably decode what the Bigfoot's saying.
Like, guys with the bolos on them, and shoot them out. Like, I've only seen it in cartoons, but I'm gonna make it.
It's very Spider-Man like, but Katy will make it happen.
Hey,
Yes, it is kind of Spider-Man.
hey, he's got like the net, a lot of netting that we just took down in our
I know,
shop.
that's what I'm talking about. I got a net.
Yeah,
He's
man.
got a net. He's got a net.
Got
You
it.
just don't got a
That's-
Bigfoot.
That's 70% of the device right there.
He's got a
There
you
net.
go.
He just needs a Bigfoot.
Yeah,
I
that's
now just need a Bigfoot to throw it at.
So you guys know that I'm like from Washington State,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
born and raised.
Uh-huh.
And like, so Bigfoot is like this like thing.
Yes, it is
Obviously,
a thing.
It is a thing. They
It's a
have
thing.
festivals. They have festivals around it. Have you guys seen? And I think it was on the one of those paranormal caught on tape shows, where the Bigfoot is in. It's called Snoqualmie Pass.
It's called what now?
Snoqualmie Pass. Snoqualmie. There's a lot of Indian reservations out there. So
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Snoqualmie Pass. You'll have to check that out. Now, I know like when they show like the video, people might think, oh, somebody's just walking around out there. I know from like living out there that there ain't nobody just walking around out there in the
right.
You mean
dark.
there's nobody just walking around with a giant, like,
Nah.
bathing suit on
Right.
in the woods
this-
randomly?
Right. And this video is
Well, there goes all my theories.
right.
There goes all my.
But this video is was captured by the DOT, Department of
Ooh.
Transportation.
Wow.
Oh.
And it's pointing towards the ski lifts. So it's in the snow and it's pointing towards the ski lifts. You'll have to check it out.
So you need to
that.
find that link, Aaron.
I'm going to have to find that link and show it, because that to me, like, I've seen a lot of Bigfoot stuff. And I mean, I have to say, I'm like, on Bigfoot. I'm like one or the other. My grandfather was a forest ranger, and he was a scientist.
Oh, they probably no telling what he saw.
So he would always tell me, when I would ask, he would always say, the woods are very big out here.
Yeah.
And he would also refer to bears a lot. He'd say things like, bears don't, if you find a dead bear, it's been poached or been killed. Bears, you don't find bears who die of natural causes just out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
They're very
they go
difficult to
somewhere
find.
and die. Yeah.
Are they even allowed to hunt the bears?
Oh, there's
Not
seasons.
out there. They really don't.
There's seasons in some places, but I don't know about Washington.
Washington State is very conservative, where there's not a whole lot of hunting going on. They really, like, they have hunting seasons, but you really don't hunt. And as for bear, I really don't think, I mean, I can't say for sure, but
Missouri has a bear season.
I would imagine there's probably a bear season. Now, there's probably certain
there probably is
breeds of bear that you can't hunt, but
right.
Most animal populations have some sort of hunting, right, to keep the population controlled.
And it's very different because they have the Cascade Mountains.
Right.
So that's the funny thing about Washington, is they have that Cascade Mountains that goes through it. You have completely two separate seasons that are absolute opposite.
And there's a weird magnetic field there that's a vortex.
Yes.
It's like
a vortex.
Yeah.
That I actually went, and it goes through to Oregon. And I actually went and stopped at a place one time that had that. And it's very odd.
I would like to go check that out. I would like to go see that firsthand. The place where like you stand, like two people are standing beside each other, and one's bigger than the other,
It's out in the middle of
what's
nowhere.
that place called?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember because honestly, I was going on a road trip with it was like the daddy-daughter road trip.
And when it looks like things are rolling uphill.
Yes.
Oh.
And it was this side road thing that him and I did. You're a dad and you have daughters. You have a daughter, like, the dad and daughter road trip.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And we saw this
I just get yelled at a lot on those.
Yeah. My dad tested the governor on his truck several times and it was things like that. But we saw like this roadside thing and I was like, hey, let's try that out. And it was the weirdest damn thing I'd ever seen. Like things rolling uphill. It was bizarre.
Well, yeah, the thing that gets me with that is like every time I think that it's going to be something cool like that, and there's like some kind of actual gravitational like bend or something,
Right.
it's just it always the reality of like when I get to actually look at it, it's like it looks
illusion, yeah,
it's illusion. It's an illusion, right? And I'm not saying that there's not
right
that have strange qualities or whatever, I'm just saying that like I think it's important to distinguish between the what's like, because they call that a portal location,
right
yes
right
yeah.
That's I don't know if I would define that as a portal location. I would define that as a like some sort of magnetic maybe or
Earth,
some sort of
an
anomalous place where something's just not right maybe. But I don't know,
it's almost like the Bermuda Triangle sort of idea.
Pretty loosely.
And the Bermuda Triangle's moving, so which makes me think it was
it's moving. It's not moving in this direction, is it?
I hope not.
Okay, we're good then.
It's a fact, and it's contains large amounts of hematite and various different types of magnet. I mean, it's bizarre, and they've just realized that it's moving. And to me, that indicates to me that that's a man-made structure that they built to connect the islands together. Because the waters would probably get choppy at times, so they would connect them by.
Are you talking about the roadway? Are you talking about the road?
The 7 mile. The 7 mile.
What's it called? The something starts with a B.
Well, this is just my own
Bimby Road or something like that. It looks like a street. It looks like a big cobblestones underneath the water is what it looks like.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah.
Bimini Road. Is that right?
Yeah.
If you read an archaeological report on the area, the Bermuda Triangle, it will tell you what type of specimens are there underground. And when you mix, magnetism with lightning, you get weird effects. And
I think I think it's bigger than that. I think it is magnetic, but I think now that they're working on the capability to map the magnetic or the core, right? So now they're mapping the core, the molten core of the planet, right? You can kind of see where all these uneven places are, and it's like these magma chutes that come up, or it'd just be like a big uneven like bubble sticking out of. Yeah, you can get online and look at it. It's it's there. Just search up mapping the Earth's core, and it's very interesting. And but you can spin around this 3D model, and you can see all the. It's rudimentary. It's probably very vague at this point, but I mean it's fascinating that they're finding out that there's reasons why there are magnetic dips and magnetic fluctuations all over the planet, and I think that's probably got a lot to do with it. I think it's got a lot to do with the core, and as far as like the activity of the core underneath that specific location. You know, like how lopsided is the
Well, the best thing that they can compare it to is in Alaska. And, I found it fascinating because, this document came out a little over a year ago. And I was just doing some, just some archaeological research, obviously on Native Americans. And I came across that particular archaeological report, and it was very fascinating. And then I looked it up on YouTube, and they did do a very short documentary because the water is receding around that area.
Yes.
So it's showing these rocks and the shoreline of these magnetized rocks. It's so bizarre.
Wow.
And I don't know.
Well, it's like in Butte. You know, Butte, you have the Continental Divide runs right through there.
Oh,
yeah.
So you have to keep that in mind. Things like that I like to keep in mind when doing research in places. So
Even like the
geology of the
longitude
place.
and the latitude lines,
Yes,
all that.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, and just even the
Like
organic material
geological
there.
composition of the area, like what kind of
Exactly.
bedrock are we sitting on? A giant slab of stone, or is it
Right.
The moon has to do with it too.
Oh, the moon, absolutely, Katie.
Elevation.
Like absolutely, the moon will do
elevation.
Yeah, and Butte
Yeah.
being what, like 5,600 feet.
Oh,
Then I think that was at the hotel. So I think if you were to
it's
go on up
5,600
further,
feet above sea level.
yeah, I think
Holy
you go a little bit further up, and I want to say it was like 6,200 feet.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, and then you had like Our Lady of the Rockies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool. Our hotel was like right next to the mountain.
Cool.
And so this giant like white statue sitting up on top of the mountain, and they light it up at night and everything, And I want to say that was like, that was close to 7,000 feet. It was close.
Wow.
It was like 6,800, 6,900 feet.
Yeah.
That's
2 weeks
lot.
ago, I was in Colorado. My daughter got married out there, and she decided to find a place to get married at. That it was outdoors. It was beautiful, but it was 11,000 feet.
And nobody could breathe.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
I mean, fortunately, I was okay, but there were other people. There were others that did have issues, with breathing and stuff, and getting sick. Having headaches.
That's too much. That's too
And
much.
the town we stayed in was 9,000 feet above. So
the funny thing is you get used to it. It takes you a couple. It'll take you a week or two, but you'll get used to that elevation. And then when you come down, you get a little boost for a minute.
Right. Fortunately, I did okay, and I didn't get sick.
Just go running.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. Well,
I
good deal.
Good to go.
We've been on for about an hour and 15 minutes, so we won't keep you guys anymore, but I totally appreciate you guys, both of you guys doing this.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And like we said before, your guys' Katie, your show, I watched it, and it totally left me at a cliffhanger.
I know. Hey, that's not my fault. Not my fault.
We were watching that.
I know. I was too. I was too. And I'm like,
I didn't do it, but I think it's right.
It is. It's very strategic. Very strategic.
Very. I was wondering, like when we were filming the whole time, I was just thinking, is this going to be the cutaway moment? Like after something jacked up happened, I'd be like, okay, so is that going to be the cutaway moment?
Right.
It's
an awesome show, and I look forward to watching the whole season for sure.
Oh yeah,
well,
and Ghost of Morgan City was so much fun. Even then, I know me and Colin and my stepson Diesel, like we were Those two, they just crack me up. My two boys, like, they just love Katy. I think it's because he's like a boy's boy. They're like, oh, he's getting stuff out and making shit.
Yeah, that's what I do.
They're like, oh, he's making shit.
Yeah. That's what I always like. You know what I always liked. My favorite shows were always, oh gosh, I'm having a brain thing right now.
Brain fart.
His wife's like brain fart.
Test theory. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Adam Savage.
The Magic 8 Ball.
Did you find that in the dollar section?
No, I found it on this random rack.
Are you sure you ain't in 5 and Below?
No, I already.
What was the name of that show? Gosh darn it, Adam Savage and
Oh,
Mythbusters. Jesus, oh my God.
Mythbusters.
Mythbusters.
Yes. That was a good
Mythbusters
show.
used to be one of my favorite shows.
That was a
Junkyard
good show.
Wars was my 100% favorite show back in the day, and I was really mad when G4 TV took it off. Just want to let G4 TV, if you ever see this, suck for that.
Oh.
You put Junkyard Wars back on right this instant. And you're
Junkyard Wars was fun. I remember
it was good. It was a
my
good
boy
show.
It was because my boy was in, my oldest, James, he was in robotics at the time at school. He was in the robotics club and he would watch Junkyard Wars. And it was like kind of like that inspirational moment, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
that show was cool.
Oh yeah, I used to love it. Making like something out of just randomness.
Nothing. Random things and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing to me. Yeah.
But you guys like that, that show definitely, your guys' new show like definitely left me on a cliffhanger, especially when they showed like the closet door. Boop boop. Like boop.
Well,
I was like, what the heck?
What happened there?
I was like, okay, this is like a flashback to Ghosts of Morgan City when the apparition just walks straight across. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, I think that was later though. That was a little bit later in Morgan City. Yeah. So we're already, I mean, yeah, it's like we've already hit that mark already.
I'm at
right.
2%.
So it makes you say like with your guy with the with new show, like if it's already hitting there,
we lost Katy.
It's because she went to the dollar section.
Right, and everybody knows they block out the internet there, so you can't price check.
so you can't check.
So you can't go online.
$5 below.
This is 5 or whatever. Yes.
Can I get this cheaper at $5 below or
is
Amazon?
Is it cheaper on Amazon?
Right.
Right. See, you got it.
You know, they used to do that at game stores for real, like like video game stores. Mm-hmm. So you wouldn't
freaking GameStop.
Yeah, well, it was before it was GameStop. It was EB Games back in the day.
You old.
I'm old. I am old. I'm getting there quickly. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we'll let you get back to bed, Katy, and we definitely appreciate it.
I can't go back to bed now, Krista.
Sorry.
He's all amped up.
Now I have to go to the shop.
Now he's going to go make stuff.
Right.
Well, I'm still going to keep sweet talking you into making an appearance at Fall into the Supernatural. Just saying.
Well, I'm definitely going to try to get out there and pop in, and you never know. I'm not surprised you.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. And we definitely appreciate your support for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And we support you guys 100% too.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, you know, like me, one of us will be around to do whatever we can, whenever we can.
Yep. Definitely appreciate it. And if you do invent that Bigfoot thing, you holler at me. I'm going with you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going with you.
Holler at Krista.
And then I will take you to all the... on it now.
Yeah.
Right? And then I will take you to all the best spots in Washington State to go and find it.
Yeah, the net gun's going to have some kick. It's going to be like a big elephant gun.
Right.
I don't know. That's what I did.
Unfortunately, you're probably going to catch more hippies than Bigfoot. But just
Maybe.
saying.
Maybe. Wait, are we going to Bozeman or are we going to Washington? Bozeman's cool too, though. I've been
Bozeman's
one of my
cool.
favorite Radio Shack owners in Bozeman. So yeah.
So I grew up.
I'm kind of a
in
hippie,
Stanwood
too.
and Bellingham. I'm a
Huh?
hippie too. Good night. Like
Yeah,
I'm
I'm an incognito hippie,
right. I hear you. I will
So-
take antibiotics when
undercover
need
hippie.
be.
Well, we don't even have to go that far because the ranch has Bigfoot there.
See,
And see, me and Kathy had an experience out there and we didn't know that's what it was. And Jessica Potter is the one that honed in on that. And she's like, that was a Sasquatch. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah. So we don't even have
well,
to
we
go
do
that
have
far.
Momo. I mean,
Right.
we
Exactly.
have Momo he's a little bit out of his area of operation up at the
Yep.
ranch, but there is a Momo around here.
Yep. Well, there's one there at the ranch. That's why we decided to do a Sasquatch hunt.
There you go.
So,
Set some
yep.
traps, man.
Well, I think what we're going
But
to
you might
do.
just catch a person, though. That would be the only problem.
He's
It's like, damn, we got a Bigfoot. No, it's just.
You know what?
Man.
Right? It's gonna be like, oh, it's just Erin. She's going in hugging the tree again.
Aaron, I tell you, those Snickers are not for you.
She found mushrooms or pot. I'm not sure.
Stop putting pot in bear traps. Aaron keeps getting caught.
Right.
It's like, oh no, CBD.
Bigfoot
Is it in a
traps.
caramel?
Bigfoot doesn't smoke weed. Maybe he does.
Maybe he does. We
Maybe
don't
that's
know.
how he disappears.
Yes. He eats a cookie and goes away.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we appreciate it, Katie.
Yes. Thank you, Katie.
And we hope to see you guys soon.
Definitely. We'll
Thank
see y'all
you.
soon.
We will see them soon. We always do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
We will see you.
Yep. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. And bye. Are you
All
there?
right, Krista. Yep, I'm here. That was fun.
That was fun. So I'm going to hang up and call your phone. We're still.
Don't end like that on the live, Krista.